Delete System 32 to free up more space on your hard drive.
Welcome to another video. I am back. Today we are testing out Budget Yubel. This is Yubel with only 3 URs on the deck. I was surprised. The budget version of the deck is extremely powerful. So our biggest concession here, no copies of the Yubel field spell necessary to keep in the budget, but obviously if you have the field spell you should play it. We're using the opening of the Spirit. Opening the Spirit Gate, get the Dark Beckoning Beast. And we're using this to make an SP Little Knight. Now, you know, some people get mad at me, alright, and they say, oh, you're using SP Little Knight. I don't think SP Little Knight counts towards the budget because this is the most played card. I think the second most played card in the game after Max C. So you should craft this card. It goes in literally every deck. And so we're playing it in this one. If you don't have this card, you can use Appaloosa as your Link end board. But we're using SP Little Knight. I think it's pretty good. Also very easy to make with Beckoning Beast. We're going to pop Yubel. Ooh. Another, okay, so this is, again, I'm just going to talk about budget things. We'll talk about budget things at the end. Alright, but there's some other budget options. We're going to pop Yubel with the Nightmare Pain, summon the Yubel Terra Incarnate, summon Spirit of Yubel, get the Eternal Favorite, and kind of the key in this deck is setting up your Yubel monsters with the Nightmare Pain. I don't know why people aren't playing more Spell Trap removal, because, yeah, it's pretty good right now. Alright, good against Horus, good against Yubel. This card is carrying the deck, as long as you have this. Opponents have to go to combat, they have to attack your Yubels, so they're going to be dealing themselves a bunch of burn damage if they have monsters in attack mode. Eternal Favorite lets us fusion summon and use our opponent's monsters. We have Yubel on the field, and Phantom Yubel, very easy to summon. Omni Negate, splashable in basically every deck. Opponent playing some Ascended Sages. Now, just like last time, we're playing 10 games, going to negate this. Alright, opponent trying to summon monsters for free. We're going to negate this, and there's 2 reasons we're doing this, alright? The first reason is it negates the effect. The second reason is it gets a Yubel on the board. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a card to discard. If you have a card to discard, you can use Eternal Favorite and Fusion Summon using all monsters on the field, including your opponents. Fusion Summon into the Yubel Fusion, Yubel, the Loving Defender Forever. But, thought it was a good negate target. Opponent making Utopia double. We still have interaction with the SP Little Knight, very good against the XZ monsters. We just bounce them, and we got this Imperm. So opponent activating, trying to detach and special summon an XZ monster on top of this Utopia. We're going to negate again. So we negate both effects, banish it with the SP Little Knight, and opponent, if they go to battle, have to attack our Yubel. Opponent. They have extensions. They're extending into more XZs. Opponent going into a second Utopia double, but once per turn, can't activate again. Card once per turn on the Utopia double. Opponent, SP Little Knight comes back. Utopia comes back, showing off the power of Little Knight. Very fun card, alright? Now people complain about powerful cards. SP Little Knight, you know, it's just fun. It bounces things. It doesn't get lethal, just little. Opponent activate Number Wall. But they are already dead, unless this is Mirror Force. Opponent activate Number Wall. Activating the Utopia to XZ summon something. I'm just going to stop that right now. SP Little Knight. Unify in response, go away, and opponent, they're dead meat, because opponent has a 2500 attack or 2500 defense monster in defense mode, and we can get lethal with that. We are like Minkankos, we attack and they take the damage, as long as we have this Nightmare Pain. So Budget Yubels dealing lethal damage to Exodias, and oops, we didn't get quite lethal, alright, because 25 times 3 is actually 1 shy of lethal, but it's all good. Discard a card, send the Eternal Favorite to the graveyard, summon Yubel Loving Defender Forever, burn him for 500 times the number of monsters. Opponent XZ Reborn, not gonna cut it. Opponent, get cooked. Burn for 1000, and that is Budget Yubels. And alright, last time people complain, alright, I was in gold rank. I played, I think 6 games in gold rank, didn't lose any of the games, and I was like, this is no good. Alright, we're going to do all these games today, all 7 games, in platinum rank. Alright, starting from this one, game number 1. Let's go to game number 2. If you like this sort of content, make sure to subscribe. We'll have more budget decks in the future, and here is one of our great budget cards, maybe even in contention for playing in the deck normally. Alright, Perivia's map lets you search the Lotus. pay half your life points, search the Lotus. And this is what we're playing instead of the field spell. If you got the field spell is better than this, but you could play it in addition to the field spell. Search your Lotus, alright? Extra copies of Lotus is pretty sweet. Get that Yubel from the deck, and this is kind of your basic Yubel combo with the Lotus, alright? You activate, you summon Spirit of Yubel, you get your Nightmare Pain, you pop it, you add oh, and look, I messed it up, alright? We messed it up. Or did we mess it up? We didn't actually mess it up. Because normally what you do is you get 4 bodies on field and you summon Appaloosa, but we don't got Appaloosa in the deck. Alright, no Appaloosa because we're playing budget. So we're not going to do that. We're going to summon some Yubels. We're going to use Geist, Granner Golem, summon additional Yubel, link 2 into the SP Little Knight. We're going to summon the Phantom of Yubel and we're going to end the turn. Alright, you know what? This is a solid board. We don't need to overextend. Although there is a combo where you check out DK's video. You can summon 4 bodies, get Appaloosa. Now, sometimes we want to do that, alright, because we got the Cyframe driver. We got the Cyframe package in this deck. We'll show that off later. Opponent, Magician's Souls, activating. We're going to negate that. Get a Yubel on the field. That's going to let our eternal favorite yoinkify the entire field. And protects our SP Little Knight from getting attacked over. Because opponent has to attack our Yubels while Nightmare Pain is on the field. Opponent summoning Magician's Souls. Discarding 2 to draw 2. Linking up into Link Freebo, activating the Dear Servant, sending Master Chaos to the graveyard, and we're just gonna let this go, right? SP Little Knight, we're just gonna chill here. Right, we're not gonna activate any SP Little Knights till we have to. Now, thing that you gotta worry about, Eternal Favor, right? Has 2 effects. You activate, and it says, do you want to activate this right now? You can special summon a Yubel that is banished from your graveyard, and that effect, for whatever reason, alright, if you choose yes and activate it, you can't activate the second effect. If you want to activate the second effect, you have to flip it up first, say you don't want to activate it, and then you can activate it again later, the second one, to fusion summon the field. I don't know why it works that way. If someone knows, please explain to me, because I don't really understand. But that's just the way it is. We got Yubel on the field. We accidentally activated the effect to summon Yubel instead of fusion summoning, because I was worried opponent was going to send some valuable monsters to their graveyard, but they did not have any good monsters to send, so you know, we lucked out. Opponent has to go to battle. They have to attack our Yubel. They're not idiots. Alright, they're not dumb. They are being forced to do this. Alright, it's very funny. Stop hitting yourself, opponent. Stop hitting yourself. They have to. They have to. Kid, it's just the rules. Alright, they have to do it. Nightmare Pain says you have to do it. Let's go to battle. Hit the Geist, Granner Golem, and that is lethal damage. Yubel showing off. Very simple, clean Yubel gameplay. This is in our little diamond rank here, or platinum rank, whatever it is, or after gold. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, budget Yubel's up 2 games. See if we can keep it up. Going second, we got some pretty good going second cards. We got Raigeki, we got the Imperm. Let's see what opponent up to. Wanda Secret Spool is a Scream Snake Eyes. We'll see. Imperm can be okay against Snake Eyes. Opponent also playing Nemlyria. So who knows what opponent is up to. Dreamin' Nelmuria, and I never played this deck, so I don't really understand what it does. I think they banish a bunch of cards and then summon that guy that like gets big based on the number of banished cards. Opponent added some Nelmurias to the hand. Special summoning the Diabellstar Black Witch. We're gonna let this go. We could negate this, but it doesn't look like opponent's doing any Snake Eyes things. Again, a negate with the Sinful Spoils. Summoning the Dream Devourer. That is going to search for a Nelmuria trap, and I don't know what the Nelmuria traps are. We can take a look right here. They got 2 traps, Louvre, and they got Reaper. I don't know if these are negates. I don't know if these are interruption, but usually the traps are bad, so I'm going to negate this. You tell me how to play against Nelmuria. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how. I don't know what you're supposed to negate against this deck. This felt like the right time. Alright, felt like the right time. Opponent summoning a Nelmuria Dream Defender, and you know what I'm thinking right now? This is pretty solid, alright, because we're going to just Raigeki them, wipe all their monsters. Now, they do have a negate, alright? We got to worry about the negate. So we got to clear the negate, then we Raigeki the field, and then we're solid. We do our Yubel things. We got the Samsara Lotus. Everything is doing good. Then opponent pivots completely into Horus. I was not expecting the pivot into Horus. So that's going to make Raigeki a lot worse. We activate Raigeki into the Horus, and the monsters get popped, except for the Horuses. They don't get destroyed because of the King Sark. And then opponent gets to activate their Horus effects. And that's going to let them add cards back to their hand. So not much we can do about that. I think we're probably just going to have to try and bait some negates here. We know they got 1 negate. We might have to find a way to clear this King Sark so we can get in some damage. And you know what? We'll try our best. Start by activating Parares Map, kind of hoping opponent negates this so that we can use Samsara Lotus. Opponent. Alright, letting it go, letting us get the Yubel to the hand. Now, sad thing about this, alright, Peria's map, it says that when you activate it, you can't activate the effects of the monster with that name unless you normal summon a monster with that name this turn. So, it's usually just, you get the Lotus, you normal summon it, you're good to go. We already had Lotus in hand. The reason I got Yubel here is we can use Geist Grinder Golem to special summon the Yubel. Does mean we're locked out of using Yubel's effect this turn. That can be a big issue, alright? Big challenge with this line here, this a questionable line. Let's get the Geist Grinder Golem. Opponent doesn't know what's going on with their life. They activate Sinful Spoils Betrayal. This negates, but it has to target a card to negate. You can't target cards in the hand with it, so opponent is negating their own card, probably by accident. Very cool, opponent. Thank you. Thank you for clearing your negate for us. So we're going to summon this Geist Grinder Golem. We're going to summon this beautiful negated Yubel. And now the only thing left, alright, opponent has this King Sark. Opponent getting back the Diabellstar Black Witch. Can we get lethal? Opponent getting the Sinful Spoil Subversion that can steal our monster on the next turn. Can we get lethal here? Alright. Now all we have to do, because opponent has a 3000 attack monster, is attack it 3 times, but we can't attack it because of the King Sark. King Sark, if we attack, they're going to send our monster to the graveyard, and that's going to be bad. We can't deal that burn damage. We also do need to get the field spell, not the field spell. We got to get that continuous spell as well. So we got some steps to get through. We got to summon this. We got to summon this Samsara Lotus. And what else have we got here? All right, opponent. We can't target them. That doesn't matter. So let's summon. Make a Nightmare Phoenix, and this is probably a mistake. All right. This is probably a mistake. I think we could probably, yeah, maybe not. We're gonna activate. We're gonna discard the Samsara Lotus and pop that King Sark. Opponent getting back some cards. It probably would have been right to just lead with Rai after searching. We probably should have led with Raigeki. That would have been better. Maybe that would have been better. We'll see. Opponent sending our Nightmare Phoenix to the graveyard. We're going to discard Raigeki, get back the Samsara Lotus. Now it is no longer... We can use it. There we go. It's on the field. They got their negate. It's gone. Nightmare Pain is here. We got the Yubel. We can pop it, get the Gruesome Spirit. Yubel comes back. And because the Yubel... There we go. Is in the graveyard. We can summon the Phantom of Yubel. Now, I made a massive mistake here, because this is actually lethal damage. Since we managed to clear the Horus card, alright, we can just attack into this 3 times, and that's lethal. But I forgot that this spell, alright, now pay attention. Learn from my mistakes here. Nightmare Pain says you have to attack with a Yubel card, and your Yubel cards deal damage to your opponent. Not monsters that say Yubel, not Dark Fiends. It's gotta be, it's gotta be your Yubels. Your monsters with Yubel in the name. So we could have activated this Gruesome Grave Squirmer and summoned itself, popped itself, and then used its effect to summon an additional Yubel from the graveyard, and that would have been lethal damage. So here I am showing you guys how you should have done it to get lethal with budget Yubel, but we misplayed it. You know what? It's fine. Alright, we'll make an SP Little Knight. We got Negate. We got a Banish. Hopefully we can live another turn and make up for our mistake. Opponent Sinful Spoils, force in the Little Knight. Oops. I guess we'll take the Imseti. That is going to trigger the Happy, unfortunately. But we can negate the Happy. Negate the Happy, make its effect summon a Yubel. So if opponent can't clear our Yubel, maybe we got a shot here. Alright, Yubel come back to us. Activate the Geist Grinder Golem, that's going to force him to attack. And maybe opponent makes a mistake. Maybe opponent makes a mistake here. They have to go to battle. They have to attack Yubel. Maybe we got a shot. Opponent, Tutsoko Shogun, drawing 2 cards, and they got another Imperial Wall. That's a problem, right? A second Imperial Wall means opponent gets to add the Horus to the hand, unless they already have it. All right, they had the King Sark, and this is pretty easy now. They just have to not mess up. Attack with a Horus. They can pop our Yubel, send it to the graveyard, and then get lethal damage on us. So we may have accidentally. Alright, this is me misplaying. But I misplay so that you guys can learn. Alright, learn from my mistakes. Don't make the same Yubel mistakes that I make. Opponent, just make a mistake, alright? Attack with Nelmuria. They know. They know. They know how it works. Punished. Punished for the misplay. Alright, you know what? That's fine. At this point, I had 16 wins in a row. We'll show you guys later. 16 wins in a row. This was I deserved this loss. All right, I was running too hot. Let's go on to the next game. All right, on to the next game in Diamond Rank. Game number 4. 4, we're up 2. All right, we got 2 wins, 2 wins, 1 loss. Sorry. There we go. Periwia's map. Gonna add the Lotus to the hand. We're gonna Dark Beckoning Beast. Add the opening to the hand here. Opening. Get the second Dark Beckoning Beast. We're gonna activate. Use the effect to additionally normal summon the Samsara D Lotus. We're gonna activate it. Get the Yubel. And there you go. All right. One thing to know about this deck: if you don't happen to have the Yubel, stopping the Lotus means your plays are completely cut off. There are a lot of lines in this where if you get Ash Blossomed, you're cooked. So you gotta be worried about Ash Blossom. Unfortunately, we do not have a Yubel in the hand, so we are not able to make the Yubel negate. We do have a Psyframe Gear Delta though. That could come in handy. This is a very underrated card, especially in this meta where people are using a lot of spell cards. Psyframe Gear Delta. Alright, don't sleep on this card. Let's special summon the Delta. Sorry, the Lambda, using our 2 monsters. And then we can special summon the Lotus back to the field. We can discard, summon another card here. And now we got SP Little Knight. We got SP Little Knight, and we got Spell Trap Negate with the Psyframe Gear Delta. And the really cool thing about this, we'll show it off. Alright, we'll show it off. You activate this, and you can banish, if opponent activates effect after you've used the Spell Negate, you can banish both your monsters with SP Little Knight and make a Synchro on your turn. Very cool, right? Opponent summoning Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord. This is some Duel Links nonsense. I don't know what this does, but it does say unaffected by other monsters' effects whose original attack is 3,000 or less. So it is immune to the SP Little Knight. Opponent activating the effect of the Cubic Wave to double this monster's attack, and that is a lot of attack. So I think we have to stop that. We're gonna negate. Negate the spell. Alright, you tell me how to play against cubics. I have no idea. I have no idea how to play against cubics. Opponent bringing the jank pile. Cubic Diarrhea is here. And this is going to send a cubic card. Alright, who knows what's going on? Who knows? Let's activate right now and dodge, because I don't want my 2 monsters in attack mode, because if opponent summons another one of these and attacks us without activating effects, we're gonna get cooked. Opponent sending Cubic Wave to the graveyard, and fun fact, alright, banishing the Psyframe Driver with our SP Little Knight triggers the Psyframe Lord Lambda and adds to our hand a Psyframe card at the end of turn. You have to live though. Opponent Raigeki the board, wishing I kept my Spell Trap Negate. Hit us for 3,000, but we live. We are still alive. Alright, we did 4,000 to ourselves with the Periwia's map. Opponent dealt 3,000 to us with his Crimson Nova Dark whatever. But we get to search for a Psyframe Gear. And we get our SP Little Knight back. Opponent, what are you doing? What is this? During your end phase, each player takes 3,000 damage. We got cooked again. Alright, you know what? This is... Oh, opponent just conciliatory cooking themselves a little bit. Alright, you know what? We got a little sloppy. Or we got a little sloppy. Got 2 losses, 2 wins. But we are playing budget. So let's go on to the next game. Alright, we gotta pull this off. We gotta get a positive record with budget deck. Alright, I believe. We got Ash Blossom, or one of. This is the bundle Ash Blossoms if you're asking questions. Alright, why do I have some URs in my deck? We got some free URs. Nightmare Pain gonna pop the Yubel, add the Lotus. It's gonna activate in the graveyard. Summon the regular old fashioned Yubel. Lotus. Gonna summon the regular Spirited Yubel from the deck. Gets searching for the Eternal Favorite. Let us fuse our opponent's monsters. Let's make that SP Little Knight. And go into the Phantom Yubel. So we got Monster Negate, we got Eternal to summon, or potentially steal our opponent's board. SP, we got the Negate of the monsters. Opponent Melody, gonna discard a card, search for a 2 dragons. Easiest Ash Blossom target ever. That's a 2-for-1 Ash Blossom right there. Opponent ending the turn, not summoning any monsters. So what do? We're like Mankankos. What do we do? They have no monster. How do we get lethal? We got the Geist Grinder Golem. Geist Grinder Golem, and a lot of Yubel decks do play this at 1. We're playing it at 3. You can search for it with Nightmare Pain, and all you gotta do is have a Yubel in the hand. You activate, it summons the Yubel, and it summons itself in attack mode. And then, there you go. Easy lethal damage. 3,000 damage to the opponent. And the Golem even has the additional benefit of giving us life points when we attack it with our Yubels. Very cool. Very cool. Once per turn, if we battle a Yubel, we gain 3,000 life points. Very cool. Alright, so Slytherin got cooked too hard. Let's go on to the next game. Are we on to game number 6? We do have a positive record right now, but Ash Blossom carried a little bit in that last game. We'll see. We'll see if Ash Blossom carries or other hand traps carry in the future. Alright. Now, this is a great lesson, alright? People use Effect Veiler, Imperm. When you Imperm, when you Veiler this deck, if you're playing against Yubels, you definitely don't do it on the Lotus, alright? This is, and we're going to show you right now why, alright? Yes, they negated our Lotus. What do? We summon Gruesome Gravestormer, get Lotus in the graveyard, make SP Little Knight. Now we activate the Squirmer, summon the Lotus back to the field, and now we can activate it, and it tributes itself to activate, so we're good. Opponent wasted their negate. We get Spirit of Yubel on field. We get our Nightmare Pain. We activate Nightmare Pain, pop the Yubel, and this is how you extend. Alright, we're going to search for Gate Grinder Golem. We're going to Yubel get Yubel. We're going to set the Eternal Favorite. We're going to get the Phantom of Yubel. We're going to give him the Grinder Golem. Here you go, opponent. Here you go. Have this Golem. If you're playing against Cashiers, this makes it so they can't play the game, which is cool. And we're going to tribute Yubel to Yubel, so we got Yubel on the field, which means we can activate Eternal Favorite, and then pass priority, activate again, discard Nibiru, fusion summon using opponent's entire board. We'll see what they can do. Opponent tributing to summon the Diabell Star. We're going to negate that. If this is Snake Eyes, we don't want them searching for the Snake Eyes, this one, Sinful Spoils. Sinful Spoils sending our monster into the back row, sending our Little Knight, sending our Yubel. That makes us sad, so we're going to negate this. I know it's not ideal to negate this card, but we do have the ability to fusion summon opponent's entire field, and we got Nibiru. Nibiru, one of the bundle cards, so don't complain. Alright, I know you guys have Nibiru, it's free. Bonfire, searching, and this is Snake Eyes. Alright, we're playing against the best deck right now. Snake Eyes is still the best deck. Making Darksteel in our Yubel, very rude. We're the ones supposed to be yoinkifying today. Opponent making the Nightmare Phoenix, going to discard and pop the Eternal Favorite. So we're going to activate it right now. Use the mode to summon, since we won't be fusion summoning anything from opponent's board today. Summon our Spirit of Yubel. Now, alright, fun fact, alright, when you use this effect to summon Spirit of Yubel, it says that if you summon it this way, opponents can't respond. There you go, special summon to Yubel. Neither player can activate cards or effects when that monster is special summoned. Because opponent popped the spell, it's not on the field when this is summoned, so it can activate, or something like that, alright? Normally it doesn't activate, but because opponent popped it, we do get to activate. Set another Eternal Favorite. Opponent going Snake Eyes, they got the Snake Eyes Ash. They got the Snake Eyes Poplar. You've seen it all before. Nibiru normally terrible against this deck, because they all float a billion times. So we'll see, if opponent gets too greedy, maybe we can Nibiru them. Opponent also playing Fire Kings. Okay, this is Snake Eyes Fire Kings. This is very meta, alright? This is the toppest tierest of decks. Can budget Yubel pull it off? 3 UR budget Yubel with additional URs that don't count, alright? Opponent, Fire King Sanctuary. Getting the Fire King Island. Great opportunity to SP Little Knight. They're trying to pop a card, destroy monster in your hand or field, and add a Fire King, alright? If this card gets popped, it has an effect. So we're gonna stop it from being popped by banishing it with our SP Little Knight. And if opponent doesn't have any other Fire King monsters in their hand, then they don't really get any value from this pop. Opponent does have a Fire King, but it's the Garunix, and this one thankfully doesn't have an effect when it's popped, so we're good, we're good. Opponent added a Fire King to the hand. Let's see, what did they add here? They added a Fire King. It was Kirin. Opponent summoning Promethean Princess. Nibiru, we're sitting on Nibiru. Now, I'm not going to activate Nibiru, because I'm thinking, alright, how does opponent actually get out from under these Yubels? They go to battle, they're forced to attack our Yubels, and that's mandatory. So what are they even going to do here? Opponent, Promethean Princess, summoning back the Flamberge Dragon. Opponent's Flamberge has activated already. Going into Raging Phoenix, activating to push our Yubel into the back row. That does not matter. World Sea Dragon Zealantis, that is a problem. Alright, opponent is going to activate this, banish all monsters, and then summon them back to the field. Promethean Princess? Or something like that. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't have activated this Nibiru right now. Opponent can summon our Yubels in defense mode. That's no good. maybe we didn't need to activate Nibiru right now, but we are activating it. Opponent, High King Garunix. When you play this in water deck, you waterlock yourself, and then you banish all the monsters, then you summon them back, but they don't get to summon it, because you can't special summon non-water monsters, and their monsters aren't watered. Let's just give them a token. Let's stop worrying about it, give them a token. Opponent can't get lethal through this. Raging Phoenix is here. Somehow Garunix is back. Popping a monster from the deck. And not lethal, alright? Not lethal. So we're good. We did it. We lived. And Yubel, great recovery. We got SP Little Knight. Opponent. What are you gonna do? They're activating to pop all monsters on the field. So we're gonna SP Little Knight jump. Move this baby chick away. Stop it from triggering when it's popped. Opponent wipes the field. And what do we do now? Alright. Well, we got Yubel. That's one thing. Let's pop the Yubel. Add a Samsara D Lotus. Activate Yubel's effect. Summon the Yubel Terra Incarnate. Opponent triggering their Promethean Princess. Popping their monster to summon the Promethean Princess. Salamangreat Rising trigger. Sacred King Garunix also triggered. The monster got popped. We're good. We're good though. We haven't used our normal summon yet. We haven't summoned our Yubel extra deck monster yet. Opponent. Getting that Sacred Fire King, popping a monster from the deck. Getting the Avatar. Summoning the High King Avatar, but its effects are negated this turn. Alright, effects negated because of the effect of the High King. So opponent, you gave us this very juicy Salamangreat Rising in attack mode that we can attack into. Let's summon Phantom Yubel. Opponent XZ summoning Garunix Fire Entity. Alright, Garunix Entity Hyang. And what does this even do? Alright, if it's XZ summon, destroy all other monsters on the field. I don't think so. Opponent not even choosing to activate it. They know we could negate. Turn the effect into summon a Yubel. Let's give him the nice juicy Greyskyner Golem. But we can attack the Salamangreat Rising twice, and that is lethal damage. Budget Yubel pulls it off. Thanks maybe a little bit to Nibiru, but mostly to Yubel. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, we're up 4-2 with Budget Yubels. On to Game 7, final game of the series. The 7-game series. Opponent, what are you doing? You're playing Horus. And this is it. Alright, I talked about Cyframe Gear Delta being amazing. Let's show it off. Alright, what do you negate? We're not going to negate the King Sark field spell if opponent has this. Yeah, unfortunately we can't negate that. That is a great target for Ash Blossom. If they activate the Imseti, discard a card. Opponent also playing Rainbow Bridge. Searching for a Crystal Beast and another wall. We're not worried about wall. And there you go, adding the King Sark to the hand, drawing a random card. They're going to activate this King Sark, and we are going to negate this. Hope they don't have the second Sark. This is the card that glues this archetype together. It sends all the Horuses to the graveyard, and it makes them very difficult to deal with. So let's negate it right now with our Cyframe Gear Delta. Opponent summoning Imseti. They're summoning Astrotopia. Discarding to add Zexal Construction. Adding something to the hand here. Adding a Ascended Sage. They cannot summon that, so they are passing the turn. Alright, we lose our Cyframe Driver. But opponent, Juicy Imseti in attack mode, no Horus spell to stop us. Nightmare Pain, pop. All we gotta do is summon 3 Yubels, and we're cooking. Get Yubel on the field, let's activate our Lotus. Get ourselves a Spirit. Spirit gonna search for, does not matter, we're gonna get the Nightmare Pain. We already got one. Let's summon. And there you go, that's lethal damage. Easy to get lethal, even with budget Yubels. And that's the 7-game series. We won 5 games, lost 2. That is a winning record for this very budget deck. Let's show you the deck list, and we'll talk about the budgety choices. Let's go. Alright, here is the match history. Alright, I like to just do this. This is my audit. Alright, let's check this out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are the games I showed. And before this, alright, we're just going to count the wins. Alright, I'm pretty sure it goes all the way to bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There was another one below this, 16 wins in a row. Pretty solid, but gold rank doesn't count, right guys? Gold rank doesn't count. Alright, here is the deck list. Now, thank you for watching. I will have the deck list linked in the description if you want to go to the Duel Links Meta website and check the list that way. But I will go through the card by card, and we'll talk about the choices in the deck, some of the budget options, and we'll go over why there's cards in here that are not that we didn't play, and also there are URs that weren't part of the budget. Alright, we got Cyframe Driver. I talked about this. Budget option, Cyframe Gamma, and Cyframe Delta. like they're pretty solid, all right? And if you have, people asked me this before, if you have Psyframe Lord Lambda on the field, you can activate your Psyframe hand traps from the hand. So that's pretty spicy, all right? Pretty spicy. People won't expect it. All right, we got the Psyframe Driver. We got the triple Samsara Lotus. We got triple Gruesome Grave Swarmer. People cut this down to 2 if they're playing the non-budget list. We're playing at 3. We talked about the Psyframe Gears. We got triple Dark Beckoning Beast. This definitely felt like the weakest part of this deck. It has really high synergy because you can use the opening of the Spirit Gates to summon Yubel pieces from your graveyard. But in the budget version, when we're not playing the Unchained stuff, Dark Beckoning Beast isn't really a great starter. Like, kind of all you can do with it is make a SP Little Knight on its own. So if you have like Horus Engine, you might want to cut down on this part. And the opening of Spirit Gate is still really good, but you might want to cut down to just 2 of the Dark Beckoning Beasts, just because like with the budget version, you're not able to do big plays with it. That's all. That's all. One of Ash Blossom. This is in the bundle, so you can only dismantle 2, so you get free 1. So this counts as budget. If you have other hand traps, play your hand traps that you like. All right, that's always how it is. We got triple Geist Grinder Golem. Again, budget option. If you're playing non-budget Yubel, probably want to play one of this. We got triple regular old-fashioned Yubel. The non-budget decks will be playing the field spell. So if you're playing the field spell, you really only need 1 Yubel. So you can cut 2 Yubels, play triple of the field spell, cut some Grinder Golems. You know the deal. Play some more hand traps. Triple Spirit of Yubel. 1 Yubel Terra Incarnate. Really just used to extend with your Yubel combos. Nibiru Raigeki. Replace these with your preferred hand traps. Piria's map, it did really good job in the games. All right, searching Lotus. Sometimes I died to it, so you got to be careful. If you got to be extra careful, you're playing this card. It is a budget option, so you're going to want to replace this with copies of the field spell, copies of hand traps. Honestly, it might be worth playing in a non-budget version of the deck. So you let me know how you like Paria's map and Yubel searching the Samsara Lotus. Definitely worked pretty well in the budget list for me. Opening of the Spirit Gates, we got 2. We got triple Nightmare Pain. We got 1 Imperm. Again, this is one of the free cards, so counts as budget. We got triple Eternal Favorite. In the extra deck, our triple URs is 2 copies of Phantom Yubel and 1 copy of Yubel Loving Defender forever. Now the reason we run 2 of these is because you can cycle them. If you have 2, you can use the second one, the first one in the graveyard to summon the second one, and then you can keep looping them because it shuffles into the deck as summon cost. So you can loop 2 of them forever. So that's why we have to kind of play 2. You know, playing 1, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage if you don't have another Phantom Yubel to summon. That being said, I'm pretty sure I only ever summoned 1 of these in the gameplay, so don't feel like you can't play the deck if you only have 1. You can definitely give it a shot, but it's going to be a lot stronger and more grindy if you have the second one. 1 Loving Defender Forever, usable with the Eternal Favorite. We got Stardust Spark Dragon and Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. These are just here because I wanted budget cards to summon with my Psyframe Gear Gamma. If you have any Synchro 8, that's good. That's a UR. All the good ones are UR. You can use that instead. Overload, get a negate. Adamant's Pit Dragon, get a negate. Excel Synchro Stardust, get a level 10 Synchro, which is a Baron, which is a negate, or a Chungus. Pretty solid options. So yeah, you don't want to play these, but they're good budget choices. Cavalry, Downer Magician is just here to make Zeus, because we don't really have anything good to be doing with Dark Beckoning Beasts. If you're going second, you can summon Sky Cavalry, attack, rank up, make a Zeus. Zeus is kind of a budget card because everyone has one. It's also in the new pack, so you're very likely to have this. But if I were playing a non-budget version, I would probably cut the Zeus, play more Lynx, play like Appaloosa, that sort of thing. We got Nightmare Phoenix, we got Psyframe Gear Lambda, we got Cross Sheep, usable in combos. If you're making an Appaloosa, you can use Cross Sheep as a kind of an extender piece. You fusion summon your Phantom Yubel too, and then you get free summon from the graveyard. So it lets you extend into higher Link monsters, but not really necessary in this build of the deck. If you're playing budget, like, it feels a little too technical. So Cross Sheep not mandatory, but played in the higher tier versions of the deck. Muckracker, SP Little Knight, amazing. You definitely just want to play this in every deck you have. triple burst dragon, and access code talker. Again, like I never summoned this. I never summoned Zeus either, so you don't have to play these if you're playing the budget version of the deck. I just kind of wanted to have something I could make as like a link 4 just to show it off if it ever came up as like an option, but never really felt the need to make access code. I would recommend playing Appaloosa over this if you have the option, because Appaloosa, obviously, card everyone kind of has and pretty good at negating things, and you can make it using your Yubels going first. So that's the deck list. Like I said, I'll link it in the description as well. Let me know how you like the video. Yeah, send some replays. It's been a while since I've seen some replays. I know some people sent me some. So in the next video, might show some fan replays. So if you have a replay you want me to show off, send it in. Very appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, sticking around till the end. I appreciate you. Sim King says, have a good night.